Hi, Alex.
Hi.
Thank you very much for coming here today. We
My
appreciate you
pleasure. My
spending some
pleasure.
time with us. I'm totally blown away by the fact that you're a Quincy guy who created this.
Quincy High School student as well.
Are you?
Yes, I am.
See, the Quincy connection just keeps on coming,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Just want to learn a bit about you.
Yeah.
Tell me how you started Islands.
Well, Islands came about because me and a group of friends, we were, when I was like 21, 20 years old, we started doing parties and everything. And off of that, I really liked doing t-shirts. So I decided making t-shirts for everyone. So that actually, we started a little brand off of that, which wasn't Islands at the time.
Okay.
That brand was called Roots because the
Okay.
group of friends was called Roots that we would do the parties. That brand actually, we took it a bit serious, and then what happened was we got a cease and desist letter from a bigger brand. So back then, obviously, we needed to give up the brand name and everything and start something fresh.
Yeah.
So back then, I knew that I was really inclined to creating a clothing brand that would speak to an audience. And I really love my culture, my Cape Verdean culture. So right when that thing happened with the cease and desist, I spoke with the guys that we used to do the parties with. I told them I was going to go on my venture, and I grabbed my cousin at the time, Felipe, and my brother and his brother, and we started Islands, right?
Okay.
Because we already had that experience with making T-shirts and stuff like that, so we wanted to change the concept and do something that would connect directly with our Cape Verdean heritage. And Islands, as in Cape Verde Islands, that was the whole premise of it.
Very cool. So your
Yeah.
parents are from Cape Verde?
Yes, both of my parents, they lived there.
Oh, they live
Yeah,
there?
they lived there, yes.
Okay.
I moved here when I was 16.
Did you really?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And you went
Yeah.
straight to Quincy North?
Yeah, no, I actually
Quincy
went to
High?
Quincy High.
Did you?
Went to Quincy High, then graduated, went to college. Then I started working in the construction management firm that I work today.
Okay. So
Yeah.
this whole, when you started Roots, so was it in your garage? Was it in, where was it?
No, I mean, we pretty much did it in my apartment.
Did you?
We started just making shirts print on demand. Then we bought a heat press and we started making our own stuff. And then we started selling it online
Okay.
through our website, and we started shipping it. Then we started grabbing some of the stuff and taking it to Cabo Verde to sell it over there in the islands because a lot of people knew us from social media back then.
Yeah.
So that kind of gave us like a rough blueprint of what a brand could operate with, Cape Verdeans in the diaspora, as well as with connecting with people in the islands themselves. Because nowadays with social media, news travels fast. So that's kind of the how we started. We were just making t-shirts, hoodies, and sweatshirts and whatnot. And people really liked because back then there wasn't that many brands for us,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So one of the things that we did the most was use American brands and other brands. So all of a sudden there's something that connects that is made by Cape Verde, and so automatically people started gravitating towards it.
Okay. It's a very cool story,
Yeah,
right?
it is.
It's awesome.
Thank you.
What was it like to build your own brand in Quincy?
Well, to me, it kind of felt like an escape because I've always been a creative kid ever since I was very, very
Really?
small. I've always been very creative, but I never really got to do that professionally because I ended up going into the engineering field, and that's what I practice right now. Not as an engineer, I work as in construction management, but ever since I was a little kid, that creative bug never left me. And once I really started doing this, I realized that that was my way to connect with that bug that I had. And the funny thing is, my cousin Felipe, who we run the brand together right now, he had that same bug. So when you have that, and then you have someone that can resonate the same type of ideas and experiences as you tend to get really excited. So
Yeah.
then we got really excited, and we pretty much we went deep into understanding like how do we create the brand? How do we actually not only make clothes, but how can we create a brand that speaks to people that people can resonate with, that has a mission, that can bring people together, right? So in the beginning, it started just by making T-shirts, but then I loved the whole process so much that I started doing more research. Okay, how can I actually make clothes better? How can I create a messaging that people resonate with? And that's where my creative self latched onto it. And we've been running for 8 years now.
Have you really?
Yeah.
So did you both bring different strengths to the table?
Yes, yes.
So yours would be?
Yeah, so mine, I actually learned graphic design in Quincy High. Yeah, so I
Wow.
took like a graphic design class, loved it because I've always been someone that sketched, but once I learned graphic design, I really liked the fact that I could get whatever I created in my brain into computers and scale it as big as I wanted to and put it in different formats. So I've always been the more, technical person in terms of the graphic designs and doing the designs and all that stuff. But me and him, we kind of do the brainstorming together. And he's always been the person that ran our social media account, right? So
Okay.
the posting and the engaging with customers and whatnot. So back then it was just that, and we kind of managed the finances of the business together. We did all of the logistics stuff for the business together. He moved to Texas then, so then he started working remote, and I've been the one kind of operating everything logistically here
Okay.
out of my apartment. But that's pretty much how we've been divvying up. I kind of put everything into the technical aspect of things so that things can be produced,
Yeah.
but we brainstorm things together because we have a passion for branding. Like we've always been kids really obsessed with Nike and Adidas and how they created their stuff for their athletes. So me and him, even before, like way before we started the brand, we always geeked out on the latest soccer cleats that came out and how those campaigns used to just move every single kid around the block. Like they wanted the new shoes, they wanted the new shirts, and we felt like we could replicate that for our own people.
Okay.
And years later, we've been, I think that we've successfully created that type of excitement from our people that, a brand that's, Cape Verdeans from the most remote place on earth
Yeah.
that people don't even know exists could create something that excites people, that moves people, that engages people in the way that we did. So
Absolutely. So tell me, you're sitting there and you're thinking about the World Cup coming to the United States.
that was.
How long ago did you start thinking about it?
I mean, obviously, back in the late fall, when there was the opportunity that we could have qualified, Cabo Verde could
Yeah.
have qualified to the World Cup. There's always been that thought, like, okay, if we qualify to the World Cup, what are we gonna do as a brand? How are we gonna celebrate it? How are we gonna position ourselves? We've worked with the national team since 2020
Okay.
with the logo design and everything, and then we had some collaborations that happened along the way. And back then, the World Cup was something that we talked, me and Felipe, and even the people from the national team, that eventually one day it would become a possibility, because we understood that there was a work being done in the behind the scenes with scouting and getting good players and making sure that the team is following the right direction. So we knew it was bound to happen, and the way that we kind of did the whole project. Now I'm probably getting ahead with the logo design, but we did it with the intention that one day, if we hit the mass media, we have to look good and we have to look our best. So how could we design an identity that would resonate to that? So when that moment came really close to happening, which was late fall, we were like, oh my God, this is actually going to happen.
Yeah.
And then obviously from that, I told him I'm gonna go watch every single game when they qualified, and people went crazy. And if you see the reactions of the day we qualified, how people like stormed the field, and there was like reporters from every corner on earth, Brazil, Portugal, that went there to document that one moment of qualifying to the World
Yeah.
Cup, because they knew how big it was. So
It's
for
amazing.
us, it was crazy.
So let's talk about this.
Yeah.
So this is the logo. So I think we can delve into it. Can you start explaining to me where would you start on this, or how did you start?
So the funny thing about the logo is it started as a passion project that we had, me and Felipe.
Okay.
Like I told you, we were very we liked sports a lot, and we liked how the teams position themselves in sports as well. The teams that we support, like the Barcelonas and the Real Madrids and all that stuff. So the national team had a previous logo that we were like, I think we could probably do better. And I'm no shame to the person that did the previous one, but we were like, let's give ourselves a challenge and do something.
Yeah.
And what we did back that time, it wasn't nothing like this. And we just designed something that had the shark.
Okay.
And we threw it on social media. I had the idea of like, let's do this passion project and post it and see what people react. And my cousin got excited and we kind of started working on it together. And then we posted something on social media through our brand page. Back then, Islands was already operating. Um, it had like a mini viral moment,
Okay.
and people started sharing. A lot of people liked it. Some people didn't like it because we had some Portuguese references there. And like, why didn't you put the Portuguese references? Like, we're not with the Portuguese anymore. But we thought it was part of our heritage. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we were discovered by the Portuguese. So we put that out there. It had that moment. Then the next day, we get a call from one of the people from the national team, and they were like, hey, we really like the concept that you guys put out there. We want you guys to submit a formal proposal for another logo, because we have been receiving proposals from other agencies, and we really like where you guys are at with everything. So then me and my cousin got really excited, and then we go back to the drawing board.
Okay.
And back then, my only graphic design skills that I had was making a few logos here and there. And all of a sudden, we're tasked with creating a visual identity that's cohesive for a national team that's going to represent a national team and represent the whole country. So I got a little scared. I went to my YouTube university and watched every single video about branding, identity, graphic design, positioning that I could to learn. Because yes, you need to know how to draw things, but you kind of need to know how things should be able to make sense for people that see it visually, right?
Yeah.
So then we grabbed that original idea and we started changing it, and we made a few different types of versions. We drew inspiration from older logos that have been really famous back in the days for other national teams. And we came up with the logo that we have today, right? And it has a representation of our country because it has the flag colors, but it also has the flag of Cabo Verde represented
Okay.
in the back. And it also has the 10
I was
stars.
going to ask you what that
Yeah,
represent.
which represents every single island
Okay.
of Cabo Verde, because the flag of Cabo Verde has 10 stars.
Okay.
So we drew those two elements. And then back then and still now, the national team was called the Tubarões Azuis, which is the blue sharks,
Okay.
right? But there wasn't anything that really brought that shark image into our identity of sports.
Okay.
The basketball team is the Blue Sharks. Every sports team from Cabo Verde has this Blue Sharks thing, right?
Okay.
So then we were like, okay, we have to figure out a way to put a shark in it.
Incorporate it, right?
So then we had a bunch of different shark ideas, and we came up with this one that we thought was very interesting, and we created a way where the flag would kind of be with the shark.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. If you look at the Cape Verdean flag, it has the red stripe in the middle, which it represents the blood of the people that fought for our independence.
Okay.
So we thought it was crucial that the shark had some connection. It wasn't just a shark
Okay.
thrown in the middle of the logo. And then we just try to make it all come together in a crest type shape, because the other one did not have, the previous logo did not have a crest type shape. And the crests were very common across a lot of national teams in the whole world. And we're like, this is probably because of something,
It's
right?
something, right?
It probably dates way back to, war times where people actually had the crest
Yeah.
that represented something because you're defending something. So
Okay.
we needed that idea and that imagery to kind of come together with the logo because they are defending the colors of the nation and they're defending us. So we stuck with that shape and then we brought it all together and then there's the logo.
Well, tell me then, so how many times did you have to go back to the drawing board? So you sent this over to them and said, this is what we're looking at.
So we did 3 versions.
Okay.
And this version was one of them. I would say that probably some proportions changed on this final version,
Okay.
but this version was one of the versions. And when they saw it, they were like, "This is the one." And it was crazy because back then we just did it, but we stepped back. Like I step back now, and I'm like, I don't even know how we came up with that. It was just a moment of pure, I don't know, we had like a synergy happening
Okay.
between me and my cousin to come up with that, and I don't even know if I can recreate it, to be very honest. To be very honest, I don't think I can,
Okay.
because it was something that happened in that moment and it was kind of meant to be. So
Well, maybe it's one of those things that doesn't need to be recreated. Because
exactly.
when you think that was on the World Cup field,
Exactly.
like, where else do you need to go from there, right?
Exactly. And a lot of people, to be honest, when the whole World Cup fever came and people were like, "Oh, Cabo Verde," and there were some people, graphic designers within the community, that were critiquing the logo, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, this logo is very beautiful."
Oh, good.
And it was very
It's
positive.
nice to hear, right?
So seeing that, 6 years later it was really nice.
Did you get to go to any of the games?
I went to all 4. I went to all 4. Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wasn't it an exciting time?
It was amazing. It was super emotional to every single one of us out there, and it was an experience of a lifetime. I told myself, I would probably never forgive myself if I didn't do it.
Absolutely.
And being in the United States and being the first World Cup that our country is being a part of, I felt like I needed to be there. So
You did, absolutely.
I went to all first 3, and then walking out of the 3rd one, I was like, "Oh my God, we're through. I have to go to the 4th one." And I booked the ticket right then, and I was waiting for the ticket for the games to be available for sale, and I bought it a couple of days later, and then we went and played Argentina, and it was amazing.
Amazing game.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Amazing game.
It was amazing.
How do you follow this? Like, what's next?
I mean, I don't know. The truth is, a lot of people, not only because they got to know that we did the logo, but they've also been checking the brand out and the stuff that we've been doing. They've been really, really supportive of us. I have to say that we have a very supportive community, and the business has been growing with not only this moment, with the World Cup, with the excitement around the country, because right now it's not only Cape Verdeans that are excited about Cape Verde, it's everyone around the world.
Yeah.
People want to visit, people want to know more about the culture, people want to know, who are the people in the culture that are moving the culture, right?
Yeah.
And the truth is, because we've been running the brand for almost 8 years now, 8 years now actually, we've positioned ourselves in the culture as this new generation of people that are creating things and creating experiences and products. And people right now feel that they want to push us further and further out into the world, so that more people come and buy from the brand, so that more people come and understand the brand. So I think from us, it's just understanding that there's a demand that's growing, and that the team needs to grow, not only in size, but also in mentality, and understanding that there is more responsibility. I feel like everyone in the team, they don't only see the brand as, okay, I'm working for a brand, but they kind of see the brand as, I'm representing my people, I'm representing my country. And there's always that sense of pride in every work that I've always felt it from the beginning.
Yeah.
But I feel it from the people that model for us, from the people that help us with social media, from everyone that interfaces with the brand, that there is a pride of, let's make sure that we're doing our best so that our people look apart and our people look the best.
Okay.
So it's the brand also, in a way, represents the country within the streetwear and fashion world. So we try to make sure that we're, keeping up with that as we go.
How do you take that to the fashion world?
How do I take
This.
this? Well, one of the things that we've started to do is to bet more on sports. And when I'm saying sports, not really sports as outfitting teams, but creating stuff that's connected with sports. So we've done, for example, this year we've done a couple of jerseys, not the official ones, obviously, but some vintage jerseys that people could wear,
Okay.
to go out,
Yeah.
or they could wear to go watch a soccer match or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And we know that sports is an area that not only our people love it a lot, but it's an area that connects all kinds of cultures. It brings cultures together, because I know that I support not only the teams from my national team, but I support other teams from other countries because I'm connected with sports. And I buy jerseys and stuff from other teams in other countries. So we realize that there is an opportunity within sports,
Yeah.
especially within Cape Verdean sports, that we want to create more stuff. Yeah, we want to make the regular T-shirts that you would just wear, or the hoodies, but we want to maybe do tracksuits and more jerseys and more limited collections and exclusive stuff that is like staple pieces that someone that plays soccer or doesn't play soccer or wants to delve into it can rock it, can use it and represent it, or come into the culture and understand more, whatever. So
Do you ever take it outside the Cape Verde culture?
not yet.
And
Not
do you
yet.
see that as something for the future?
To be
Do you
very
become
honest,
Americanized?
to
I
be
guess.
to be very honest, a lot of people have brought up that challenge to us, but I think it would be very hard for me to do it because the whole premise of the brand is focused on the identity of being Cape Verdean.
Yeah.
And that's the only way that I feel the truth to design and create
Okay.
the authenticity.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, is if the brand is creating something that doesn't feel authentic to us, then it becomes very hard to do something that's of quality that is going to connect with people. Now, it doesn't mean that we're designing only for Cape Verdeans. We're designing for everybody that feels connected with our culture,
Okay.
be it Cape Verdeans, be it Americans, be it anywhere. Now, do we understand that that limits the pool of people? We do. We understand that totally. But I feel like that is what makes us special. That is what makes the niche that we're working in interesting to create. Now, there is very few Cape Verdeans in the world.
Yeah.
We understand that. But there's a lot of people that just resonated with the story of the team in the World Cup. And that's a reason, because there's always that David and Goliath story of, he's going to conquer the world, and is this little person from this little island that is just going to do big things. And that is what we're betting on. We're betting on our identity. We're betting that not only people from our country are going to connect with that, but people from other countries are going to connect with that, and they're going to want to know more about it. So, yeah, to answer your question.
No. You're sticking with the Cape Verde.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
For now.
For
But,
now,
the
right? You
world.
just don't know, do you?
Yeah, you just don't know.
You don't know, and no one
Yeah.
never knows what's going to happen
No
down
one
the
never
road.
knows. I didn't know. So.
You didn't know that you'd be doing
True.
this, right?
True.
So for anyone that's listening to you or has been watching you during the World Cup
Yeah.
and may consider doing something similar, just give us a few obstacles that you've come across as you've tried to grow.
Well, obviously the obstacles that we come across is that, doing anything creatively is a massive challenge because a lot of people don't see the value of it. A lot of people don't understand that, anything from clothing or art or music, there is a monetary value associated with it, but the way it touches people is the biggest part, but that's not tangible. And when a lot of people don't see the tangible thing, they think that it's not worth it. So for a long, long time in the brand, a lot of people are like, well, why are you wasting your time doing it? Why are you wasting your time doing t-shirts? But you stick with it for a good amount of time, and there's a moment where I don't know how in scientific terms to really describe it, where it reaches critical mass, right? So you've built a lot of early followers that really resonate with the brand, that your pool of people starts to become really big. And then when people notice, oh, these people are into this brand, what is going on? Something is happening. And that's when it all makes sense. But it takes a lot of time. It takes people to trust you. And those people sometimes are, they're not majority of the people, but it's pretty much the biggest thing for us was time and patience and trusting the process of what we were doing, that it was actually worth something. And that's the biggest thing. If you're able to withstand the time and the patience and really focus on the craft that you're doing, and you believe in because you have to believe it. You have to believe that what you're doing is worth it. It will eventually resonate. It will take 5 years, 3 years. Some people it takes a year. Some people it takes 2 years. You never know. So you just have to bet on yourself.
I love
for
that.
Yeah.
Bet on yourself.
Yeah.
Now I take it you're going to stay in Quincy, right? You're not going to be taking this anywhere outside.
Well, nah. For now, we're in Quincy. Obviously, we operate not only e-commerce, but we also sell in Cabo Verde. We have a retail partner there that sells some of our stuff.
Okay.
Yes, and then we also ship some stuff out for European countries out of Portugal. We have we have like a smaller fulfillment operation there. Because our brand, it caters more to Cape Verdeans in the diaspora. So Portugal, France, Holland, Luxembourg, United States, obviously, those are the bigger markets, because it's a lot of the people that left the country and they want that sense of connection and they resonate with the brand. And then we have a bigger pool of people in the country that really, really loves our stuff, that tend to go and buy at the store, that we have a partnership with. So we're kind of spread out in many areas. But our biggest market is here in the U.S. and, we ship the orders much quicker here, and, we release something and people get it the other day. The other markets, usually it has a delay. Because everything is made, overseas, and it lands here, then it has to be sent out. Yeah. So that process takes some time, and we've been trying to find ways to shorten it, with moving inventory directly from the manufacturer to these markets to try to sell. But then again, you have to set up the infrastructure and make sure that everything is ready to go. I think we've kind of done that now. So now it's just making sure that the inventory gets to these places all at the same time, so that when we market for it, the demand can capture everything. So, yeah.
It's a lot, right?
It is a lot.
So do you have to keep working? Will you keep on working in your construction?
Well, right now I am, and I still have to.
You have to, but at some point, does this become your full time?
That's the dream.
That's the dream.
Right? I shouldn't say that's the dream. I should say that's the goal.
That's the goal, right? Yeah.
That's the goal. Is that we continue to grow and we continue to do what we have to do to make it happen. Because I feel like me myself, I could do a lot more and I could give a lot more. And sometimes I can't, because I'm limited on time. And we understand traffic in Boston, you're going up and down, it's crazy. And then you still got to sleep at a decent time to go show up to work the next day. But that is the goal.
That is the goal. It's a great goal.
Yeah. Thank you.
This has been great. We really appreciate you coming in.
Appreciate
It's been a pleasure to meet you.
Thank
you. Very, very proud of you.
Thank you.
And
very
especially
much.
when we heard you were from Quincy. And we were like, we've got to get hold of this guy. We need a conversation. But we're very excited for you, and we'll certainly be watching to where you go
For
and
sure.
your next steps.
Thank you.
Thanks
very
for coming
much.
in.
Thank you.